Hey minions, Princess Sarissa back. Where we last left off, RASAR and his friends were exploring Exdeath's castle. They made it almost all the way through. But we didn't get this treasure chest. You don't have to get this treasure chest, as you can see it's empty. But by getting the treasure chest, you prompt this battle to occur. So, yeah, you don't have to fight Gilgamesh here, but if you want to, you'll just, of course, have to open that treasure chest, so... One of the reasons you might want to fight Gilgamesh, though, is because fighting Gilgamesh gets you the Genji equipment. And during each of the Gilgamesh battles, you have a chance to steal a different piece of Genji equipment. Gilgamesh is the only way you can get that Genji equipment. So, right now, if you notice, the steal is a potion. You can't get the Genji equipment off of this form of Gilgamesh. This is going to be a two-part battle. After we do enough damage to Gilgamesh, he's going to eventually change forms. So during this first form, he's pretty easy. He mainly uses blue magic type spells. There's the one right there, Flash. He used another one earlier that minied you. He's going to use the one that turns you into a frog. Hurricane isn't a blue magic spell, but it's similar to Deathclaw, which basically does the same thing as Hurricane, but it also can paralyze you. But, yeah, too bad to use it on RASAR, because we can't heal RASAR, because he has that bone mail equipped. So, so it's a good place to potentially learn some blue magic off of Gilgamesh here. The main things you're really worried about is, one, this, Pond's Chorus and the Lilliputian Lyric, or Lullaby, I think it was, because they turn you into, Toad and Minnie, respectively. So there it is. When you're toaded or minied, your character suffers a major penalty to their defense score. So, luckily we have Golem to help mitigate that, but if we didn't have Golem and we got hit, the physical attacks would do a lot of damage, so... we can cure them out with our status healing items there. The Mallet cures the Mini, and then the Maiden's Kiss cures the Frog. So... he keeps using Hurricane on RASAR. But, anyway, luckily the blind status isn't too bad. Actually, in one instance, the blind actually helps here. There's another blue magic spell, Time Slip. The blind basically just really decreases the accuracy of your physical attacks. I think down to 40%. So, it doesn't matter for Faris, because she's just using magic. And, Lenna, the throw, it doesn't affect her throw ability. So, like I said, it actually saves, RASAR here a little bit. Because, that blue magic spell, Rocket Punch, confuses. And, thanks to the blindness, she missed attacking RASAR. So, woo! If we had the Chakra ability equipped as a secondary ability, we could use that to remove the blindness, but we have better secondary abilities to use right now, so... See, after I say we do enough damage, Gilgamesh is gonna kind of go into a little speech here. Kind of basically saying that, like, he, you know, he enjoys his little fights with us, so... he's kind of gone on from a Exdeath flunky to being more of a notable rival, I guess. And that's going to be a thing in future Final Fantasy games. Gilgamesh kind of becomes this, like, comic relief type character. And he starts to show a little bit of that comic relief type personality in this game. So, he comes up with stupid puns and some stupid sayings, and, you know, he doesn't seem to take his job too seriously, you know. But I guess that might be a function of this game, because this game is kind of silly and lighthearted. Another blue magic spell there, Discord. So, I think the blue magic there was Dog Shock. So, see the Twin Lance there hits twice. So, and here he comes. He's going to morph. He's going to turn to this really big, scary-looking thing here with all a bunch of arms. And now, once he becomes this form, this is where you can actually steal that piece of Genji equipment. So, the Genji Helm. I think the first time we fought him on the ship, we were able to, well, it wasn't the first time we fought him, but first time we were able to fight him and get Genji equipment, we could steal, I think, the Genji gauntlets off of him. Now we can get the helm, And we'll have 2 more fights with him later. One to get the shield and one to get the armor. But I'd say we'll just keep up with the golem here. And he basically says he's gonna beat us up. I guess it's implied that what was in that treasure chest was this sword called Excalibur, but it's actually Excalibur. It's a kind of a pun on the Excalibur name. And what it does is basically, we'll get it after we defeat Gilgamesh here. It's basically a sword that only has an attack power of 1, so it's a real weak sword. There are some advantages to it though. You can throw it, and it has a really high attack power when thrown. Stronger than, it might even be stronger than the Fuma Shuriken. And I think it also gives some pretty good attack when used with like a magical ability like Goblin Punch, another blue magic spell. But anyway, after a few rounds, Exdeath basically says like, you're useless, Gilgamesh. You can't even beat these guys, and he senses him to the rift. We're gonna learn more about the rift later, but so here we get the Excalibur, and we won't be using that because it's a knight sword. But like I said, we might be able to throw it. But so we want to make sure we head back here and save, because after that optional battle, we just have to head up 1 more floor, well, 2 more floors, but one's real short, and we'll be at Exdeath, the main bad guy in this playthrough. And the whole reason that we came to this castle anyway, to make him pay for all the people he's hurt and all the bad things he's done. So, ooh, always save our game, and let's head on up to take on Mr. Exdeath. Wonder what powers he got with the crystals, though. Look, the treasure chest is closed again, but yep, still empty, so. Up to 12, floor 12, really short floor. And here on the final floor, Exdeath's. We saw this room quite a few times in the cutscenes, but now it has little crystals there, so. But Exdeath is going to bring us, make an interesting point right here. RASAR was basically saying like, haha, we're gonna stop you. And he's like, do you even know what I'm trying to do? And RASAR's like, actually, we really don't. But all we know is that you're evil, so we have to stop you. But apparently Exdeath is saying he's going to return the world to how it was meant to be. So we just assume that means it's return the world to evil, but we'll see what he means in a little bit. But we don't have time for that right now, because it's boss time. And Exdeath always starts off with this spell, Doom. It's a blue magic spell, and it would have been nice if he would have used it on RASAR, because RASAR is considered undead, because he has the bone mail on, so the death spell would actually heal RASAR to full hit points, if it was used on him, but Exdeath's not playing nice. So, not only are we going to get some good uses out of Golem here for Exdeath's physical attacks, we're also going to be able to put our other new summon that we got, Carbuncle, to good use. Carbuncle, where Golem puts up a physical wall, Carbuncle will put up a magical wall, and it'll give the reflect status to all of our characters. So, now of course, Exdeath, we know he's like a dark warlock. So, it makes sense that many of his attacks are going to be magical based. So, when we put up this ruby light, which gives everybody the wall status, a lot of the spells that Exdeath is going to throw out are going to bounce back and hurt him, so that's nice. Sadly, he doesn't use any holy spells. Holy is his weakness, so would have been nice. That was an annoying spell, Dispel. Dispel takes off all a character's buff, so like right now, Faris will have lost her reflex status. Other buffs it can take off are like Haste, there's some chemist mixes that like increase your strength and stuff like that. Regeneration, so unfortunately, so we lost that, so. But we can probably throw up another carbuncle to give Lenna, because she lost her buff there too when the Doom counter clocked to 0. So then we had a good showing of the reflex status there. He tried to cast the bio spell on us and it bounced back and hit him. He resists bio though, so it didn't really do too much damage to him, but every little bit that Exdeath does helps, so that was a really good move right there. Level 3 Flare, that's another blue magic spell. It's gonna get real good use in the next part of the game, because a lot of enemies are gonna come up with weakness, are gonna be multiples of 3. And because it's a situational spell that only works on characters enemies whose multiples are levels of 3, it's cheaper than the regular black magic spell Flare, because you can't use it on everybody. Well, Flare you can, but on the enemies that can do, it's a very good cheap alternative. So yeah, the blue magic has basically 2, 3, 4, and 5 level type spells. Level 2 Old puts the old status on enemies that are levels of 2. Level 3 Flare deals damage to enemies that have a multiple of 3 with a Flare spell. Level 4 Gravity, which reduces enemies down to 1/4 of their hit point if their levels are multiple of 4, and then level 5 Doom, which basically outright defeats enemies if their level is 5. So keep our Earth Wall up. Looks like we didn't need it there, but hey, look, more free damage. So he's using his elemental spells here, and they're all just bouncing right back on him. So free damage, always good. Once again, sadly, he used that Doom on Lenna. Would have been nice like that he would on RASAR, but the enemies never wanna cooperate. It's almost like the game knows. So just keep using our tough little Titan there. And overall, it's he's a little easier probably than that Guild Toad that we had, but it's very similar. That we're just mainly, you know, more defensively playing here. Setting up our buffs, protecting ourselves from his spells with Carbuncle, and then just slowly whittling his stuff down. Ooh, that one hurt. Keeps using that. The spell, taking off Faris's thing there, her reflex status. Whoa. See, the game knows. The game's like, I'm gonna take off, hit the one that we don't, that doesn't have the reflect on it. So let's get her back up into the fight. Have her quick cast that Carbuncle then. Eventually we'll be able to buy elixirs, so might as well use it now. Whew, at least we got something good there. He used it against RASAR, the only one who still has reflect. And he used the ice foolishly on Krile, who is immune to ice. Let's get that thing up. Now we gotta get Lenna up again. But yeah, most of his when we put the wall up, we're kind of blocking most of his multi-targeting attacks if he uses a magic spell. So even if we knock somebody out, we should be pretty good to revive them and get them back on their feet with a high potion. We're gonna have to buy a bunch of more high potions when we finish this up, though, because we're running really low. We use so many up on those damage tile floors. Pretty much every 10 steps on a damage floor, that was a high potion. So more like 4, because every one of your counters is taking that 10 points of damage, or 50 points of damage per step. So going through those high potions real quick. So well, at least Lenna didn't have many buffs on her to have that to be taken away with the dispel. So let's give her the debuff, a buff back again. Woohoo! Good job, Krile. And we finally defeated Exdeath, the evil warlock, with a dance. Yeah, Lenna used the jitterbug dance, took 120 hit points away, and that was all that Exdeath had left. Woohoo! We finally defeated Exdeath! I guess that means the game is over. Well, obviously it's not going to be over if we still have like 15 more minutes left in this video, so obviously something new is going to happen. But for right now, what's happening is something's happening to the crystals. They're breaking apart just like our crystals. The crystals in RASAR's world broke apart. Uh-oh. Was that Exdeath's plan the whole time to break the crystals? I guess it must have been. Because we're going to see a massive, massive change here coming up. But first, let's look at what Rabbit and Small Animal Rescue does. They take neglected, abused, unwanted, and abandoned animals, and they help turn them into loved, sheltered, happy, and content animals. Yep. And they can't do it without support of people like you, so we'll talk more about them at the end of the video. But what's happening now that the crystals of both Gallif's world and RASAR's world have been destroyed? It looks like the world hasn't been destroyed because our characters are somewhere. They're knocked out, but they're definitely not in Exdeath's castle anymore. RASAR comes through first. He's gonna wake up all the princesses. Yeah, we're all princesses if you think about it. Princess Lenna, Princess Sarissa, and Princess Krile there. And what? Castle Tycoon? We're back in RASAR's world. But are we back in RASAR's world? Well, let's look around here a little bit. So there's where the meteor was. That meteor's gone. But this river wasn't there. Remember, we were able to walk right to the pirate's cave. Now there's a river there, and there's like a forest down here. It was enclosed all by mountains earlier. You know? Yeah, you couldn't wander here. It was just that small little section. There was no river there because we were able to get to the pirate's cave. That desert was a little bigger too. Remember, because we were looking for the bees. Is that Castle Tycoon? I don't know. And the world map looks totally, totally different. What's going on? It doesn't look like either the first world, RASAR's world, or Gallif's world. Yeah, remember Castle Tycoon had mountains all around it to the north? Well, now there's a hole in the mountain range and there's another river. What's going on? Well, let's see. Is this really Castle Tycoon? Well, the thing says it is. It looks like it. Well, let's see. The Chancellor's supposed to be here. Let's see if it's the same guy. These people know we're Princess Lenna. Something strange is going on. Alright, well, maybe the Chancellor might know what's going on. So, let's talk with all these people. Looks like, for the most part, they're, you know, even though the world has changed, it seems like they're kind of ignorant of it. They're just happy to see the princess back. Alright, well, let's go talk with the Chancellor. So, he probably has, you know, eyes on the situation. And now he knows that Faris is really Princess Sarissa. And he also apparently found out that King Tycoon has died. But he's like, hey, we lost the king, but we got a princess. So... And we're going to learn a little bit more about Sarissa in this episode. Like I said, it's nice the game kind of splits up the character's backstory into, doesn't dump it all in one big lump of exposition. You know, they dole that out a little bit of piecemeal, you know. Hey, where's Princess Sarissa at? Here she comes. Uh-oh. She's gonna look totally different. Wow, look at Princess Sarissa. She's in a dress. She got a ponytail now. Changed her hairstyle. RASAR likes her. Ooh, she's gorgeous. I know I'm gorgeous too. That's what I got my name off of Princess Sarissa. Yeah. Yeah, this game came out much earlier before I was born. Yeah, I'm only like 2.5, almost going on 3. So, yeah, this game was out in 92. That's a long time ago. And all these people are gonna start dancing. Krile's gonna walk off. Wonder what's up with her. Let's go talk with the other princesses. Sadly, we won't be able to talk with any of the princesses, because if we try to talk with any of them, these dancers block our way. Yeah, why did Princess Sarissa call herself Faris? We'll learn that in a little bit. What a weird name, but we'll learn why. Yeah, if you try to go up to talk with any of the princesses, Faris or Lenna, yeah, see the dancers come and they push you away, so. Well, it looks like we're gonna have to go talk with Krile. She's the only princess we can talk with. And she still feels that, like, you know, even though we defeated Exdeath, she still feels like her grandfather, Galuf, is saying that, hey, your work is not done. You know, there's still stuff you need to do. So, RASAR agrees, and he's basically like, I think the first thing we should do is find out why are we back in my home world. So, you know, we try to, like I say, you have to talk with Krile. That's your, the sequence trigger for what's going to happen here in a little bit. And the Chancellor said this feast is going to last for 3 days, so, ooh, we got a long time until the princes are able to be free. But yeah, you can't go out and pitch a cottage or a tent for 3 days and then have the princes join you. No, the thing's gonna last basically as the plot demands it. So don't think you can use a tent or a cottage and speed up the game and get like, oh, 3 days have passed, the festival is over. So, but yeah, talking to Krile will allow this guy to appear when we try to leave the castle. And he just wants to say that, hey, there's a bridge now over to the west. And that'll take us over to the pirate cave. So, one of the good things about the area right now, or what's happening right now, is at this point in the game, we're not going to have any random encounters on the overworld. I guess they don't want you to, you know, do a bunch of level grinding and level up the other characters with without Lenna and Faris in your party, so we can do a little bit of exploring on the overworld. So let's talk with a few more of these people here. Maybe they may have something new, different to say. Another one person says something about Princess Sarissa, Faris there, so let's see if we can get that little dialogue. Oh, that guy, he phased right through us. And sometimes hitboxes don't detect if your sprite is moving and the other sprite is moving. You kind of walk through each other. So, and remember, there's that hidden room to the right, behind that tree in that little tower. If you didn't get this is your last time to go into that secret chamber over there and get the tents and stuff, the treasure. So, but we got that a long time ago. So, Chance was relieved. Still wishing that the princesses would stay. Well, we don't want the princesses to stay. We still need the princesses to come have fun with us and journey. There's this guy talking once again about the skies over Tycoon were rent asunder 1,000 years ago. That's going to be important a little bit later. But oh, there's the bedroom. Well, we need to go there. Let's head to the other side where Princess Sarissa's old teacher used to be. So, I think she's the one with the new dialogue. Castle Tycoon is kind of big. A little bit of mazy. Gotta know where you're going. So, ooh. There's the teacher. What's she gonna say? Yep, she had a feeling that, Faris was Princess Sarissa. Well, you were right. But sadly, because she's a princess, well, she's gonna be stuck here at the castle for 3 days, so, well, we might as well do what RASAR said and go check out the pirate cave over to the, west. Maybe Boko's still around. We don't know how long we've been away in that other world, if time, you know, moved differently or what. Who knows? Let's go see if, what we can learn about Boko. There's the bridge now that we can cross over. And it's just, once again, another straight shot up to the pirate cave. At least that hasn't changed. Mm-hmm. And when we try to go into the pirate cave, hey, look who's here! It's Boko! He's better! Remember when we last left him, he was still in bed. He was injured, because when he tried to follow us through that cave, the monsters got at him. So... But apparently Krile can also speak Chocobo. So, or just a little bit. She is multilingual. She obviously can speak, you know, English and or whatever language the game is in for whatever region you're playing in. She can also speak Chocobo. She can speak Moogle. She can also somewhat speak with the Windrakes. So. And because she can speak with the Chocobos, she found out that Boko met a female Chocobo. Maybe it was that one from Gallif's World or something, I don't know. But somehow Boko met a girl named Coco. And they're gonna have a family because Coco's pregnant with kids. So. And she says, waves them go and says, hey, I understand that you want to go out and adventure with your dad again. So she's like, just be home, be safe. So we'll take advantage of the no encounters through the pirates cave here. We'll go talk with some of the pirates and we'll learn a little bit more about Princess Sarissa or Faris. We'll learn more about her name and stuff, so. And if you didn't get any of the treasure, here's another chance to go back and get the treasure. We will eventually have to make a return trip here later, once we get Faris back, because there's another optional scene if you return back to the Pirates Cave here with Faris, which makes sense, you know, because it's her crew that's sitting in here, this, you know, this thing. She led these pirates, so. There's Coco over there. But yeah, the scene appears right here if you bring back Faris, so. And she just says, take care. Aw, the pirates like Chocobos. Aw, they're like little pets. And apparently Sarissa couldn't pronounce her name right, so she kept calling herself Farifa. And so they shortened it to Faris. So that's how she got the name Faris. Some old man pulled her out of the sea. And word travels fast. The pirates already know that, hey, the captain was really a princess. Uh-oh. Thanks, Doc. See, the Doc did his job. Way to go, Doc. Thanks for taking care of. You should be a veterinarian. What do these pirates have to say? Not much. Same thing as before. The pirates say they can do whatever they want, but they really ain't doing anything. They're just sitting in here this whole time. Aw, he's in love with the captain. Guess he loves her even more now that he knows that she's a princess. So, alright, well that's all for now with this thing, so head back outside. It'll be a quick trip, because like I said, there's no random encounters. And then we'll be able to hop on Boko and do a little bit of exploration on the world, so. The world will also once again contain no random encounters for a little bit. Checking out my stats and jobs here. And one of the advantages of travel with Boko, even when there are random encounters in the world when they do come back, traveling on Boko will avoid any random encounters, so that's a staple of since Final Fantasy II. Riding a Chocobo avoids random encounters. Another thing is, the Chocobo can actually walk through rivers. So remember, north of Tycoon, there was a river blocking our progress. Well, now that we have Boko, we can actually cross that river. So let's hop on Boko. Cross the bridge. Yeah, Boko can go in the water, but only the shallow water, not the water that has the, so it's the solid state water. Yeah, you can walk through it, but the water with like the little tides in it, yeah, can't go through that, so. But having Boko opens up a few new things, and the Pirate's Cave there is different. There's now a landmass by the War's Channel. And then we can actually walk now. Ooh, there's an airship. Well, we can't get to it. Darn. If only we could swim. But yeah, now there's a land channel from the War's Canal over to Tool here. So, but what's happening in Tool? Well, we'll find out in our next episode. Take care, have a good one. And once again, let's see what the Rabbit and Small Animal Rescue does. Turn in abused and neglected animals into happy animals like that smiling dog right there. Oh, isn't he cute? And you can help Rabbit and Small Animal Rescue fulfill their mission by making a monetary donation to them. I've included a link to their homepage in the video description. Thanks for your support. Bye!